Hello everybody, my name's Bill Maloney and I am a victim of child abuse, as were my 7 siblings. So you think of the abuse, whatever depths you can go to, we were there. Now I specialise in institutional child abuse. I've been talking to a few of you, and I've been doing this for quite a few years now. You know, I went into the dramatic film game to earn the big bucks and to be a filmmaker. But this came back on me when my sister was found dead in her apartment after a documentary film I shot called Sun, Sea and Satan. And in Sun, Sea and Satan, I am accusing the establishment, the institutions and the Crown of killing my sister. Now, when I was making Sun, Sea and Satan, when I was shooting this film on the island of Jersey, it's about Hope de la Garenne, where there was a massive establishment cover-up and many of the children were being killed. I don't know if you remember, they found teeth in the cellar and bits and pieces of kids lying about and victims giving statements that were ignored and are still ignored. And there was a newspaper article in the Irish World yesterday about me, and it said that I was going to commit treason. Well, if saying that I have a victim underneath your man here, if I say telling you people here in the middle of Trafalgar Square that I have a very reliable victim who is a witness on the island of Jersey who told me in detail how the Queen Mother used to play about with her. Yes, I can see you. And this is what you're all here for. You're all here for the Crown. You're all here, all you tourists, you're all here to say, what a wonderful country, we've got a wonderful Queen. Well, what you don't know is that the Queen owns the island of Jersey. The UK does not own the island of Jersey, it is the Queen. Our Queen owns the island of Jersey. It has a population of just 90,000, 9-0. Yet it has a financial industry worth £250 billion per year. She has not taken any, and I can see one of the wardens looking at me, because what I am doing here is committing treason. Now, it was up to 1998 that the only law in this country, not killing children, raping children, torturing children, no death penalty for that. But in 1998, we still had a death penalty in this country for treason. Now, treason means something as simple as this: talking bad against the royal family. Well, if we've got any police officers here, I'm accusing the Queen Mother of paedophilia. And I am accusing her daughter of covering it up on her island of Jersey. And so, this is a dirty country. This country is filthy because of our Queen and her mother and Mr. Lord Mountbatten, who, when he was killed, had 3 children on his boat with him. That's how high it goes. And now, another little bit of sinister story for you. The Pope, the age of sexual consent in the Pope's Vatican City up to 1 year ago, 2009, was just 12. 12! You can take a kid at 12 years of age in the Vatican City. Then, when our film, Sun, Sea and Satan was released, they put it up last year to 14. You have 800 priests, clergymen, that live in the Vatican City. Nobody else lives there or stays there. They are celibate. Now, celibacy means you don't have sex. Why do they need an age of consent if they don't have sex? And I'm very angry. I'm very angry. And then we have President Putin. When President Putin was on his election campaign, he was in a place like this, and he walked up to an 8-year-old boy, lifted his t-shirt up and kissed him on the nipple. The whole of the Ukraine said, excuse me, bollocks about the election. Why did he do it? Why did Putin kiss that child on the nipple? And what I'm trying to do here, people, is show you how high it goes. The royal family, the Pope, the Catholic Church, and he's coming over here, and I want to talk to him, but I don't think he's going to talk to me. Now, there is another outrage that is going on. We have a Down syndrome girl who has been repeatedly raped by the establishment. All you tourists, you are here to look at this establishment, the National Gallery. What nation? We have no nation. We're a dirty country. Look at it. The Royal Bank of Scotland, Canadian Pacific. This is not about this country. If you go in the National Gallery, they do an ice cream in there, and it's called a National Catastrophe. That costs you £8.50. Now, from where I come from, the lower classes, I don't know anyone where I come from in South East London who could bring 2 or 4 kids up here and buy them a National Catastrophe at £8.50. Do you? No, it's not right. It is not right. And we've got the bankers stealing from us. And when the bankers are stealing your money, the money that would be going to feed the poor, the taxes that would be going to the National Health Service, the taxes that would be going to help people like Holly Gregg, who's being abused by doctors, police officers, social workers, politicians. Can any members of Parliament that are here put their hand up? Just put your hand up. I want one MP. Right, my film company, Max Films, we invited over 600 members of Parliament to this UK rally against child abuse. You know how many's come, didn't ya? None, not one. That's who cares. That's who cares.
Would you like to say anything on the camera? Would you like to say anything on the camera? Would you like to say anything on the camera? No? Would you like to say anything on the camera?
Maybe this is why they don't want to talk to her.
Didn't even want to look at the camera. I said to him, I said, would you like to say something for the camera? No, no thank you.
Yeah, it's not like we're blaming them all, is it, Lil?
Just want to comment, that's all.
We just want to comment, don't we?
Everyone's entitled to a comment.
Yeah, and a proper apology.
Yeah,
anyway.
at least, the least.
Could you confirm for me, up to last year, that the child, what is it, the age of consent in the Vatican City was 12?
I don't know, actually.
You don't know what the age of consent at the Vatican City was? Well, I can tell you, Father, it's 12. And if priests are supposed to be celibate, why should they have an age of consent at all in the Vatican City? And the only people that stay there are men of the cloth and altar boys. Why is that, Father?
Well, I think there's a whole range of people in the Vatican City.
Not that stay there, Father. Not that live there. All that live there are the men, the clergy, and the altar boys. Why is that, Father? I am an abuse victim of the Catholic Church, as were 7 of my siblings. We were all taken into Catholic institutions as babies. All I want to ask you, Father, and I've asked many priests before, why was the age of consent just 12 at the Vatican City up to last year?
All I can say to you is that I'm really sorry that you suffered abuse.
Could you not tell me why the age of consent was just 12 at the Vatican City up to last year, Father?
I don't know the facts of that situation, but I really am sorry that
the youngest in Europe, Father. Father, thank you for that, okay? And I would like to tell you that I am a friend of Jesus Christ.
I'm sure you are.
Jesus Christ was poor. Jesus Christ lived amongst the poor. Jesus Christ knew nothing of opulence. Why does our Pope soak himself in opulence, Father?
Well, actually, I don't think he does.
You don't? He's got a rock on his finger that would feed many starving. We've got 50,000 children dying on this planet every day, Father, of malnutrition and preventable diseases. Why doesn't the Pope put the money that he's getting from this? And apparently the Australian taxpayer, Father, had to give over 200 million Australian dollars when he visited Australia in 2008.
I've spent most of my life looking after the poor. living in very poor places.
Yeah, Father.
And it's because of the Holy Father's encouragement that I've done that.
Yeah, Father, we're not condemning everyone. It's like, you know what's happening with, like in this country and many other countries, we're building a police state. So a lot of people are like slagging off the police in different countries. But we know that you get good and bad. So we're not putting everyone down as bad. I just want to know why the age of consent was 12, but you can't tell me, Father, because you don't know.
I don't know that, but all I can say is that I'm really sorry that you've been wounded and hurt.
Yeah.
And God bless you.
Yeah, and God bless you, Father, and God bless the church.
Thank you.
Okay? And it's the people, there is a blemish over it at the moment, Father. I come from an Irish family, and the Irish came over here, my parents are Irish immigrants, and their children, my mum and dad's children, were taken away at babies, and every single one of us was abused for at least 16 years. I've got 7. Now you're looking at over 100 years of abuse just in my family, Father. What's your name, Father?
Malachi.
Malachi. So you're an Irishman?
I've got an Irish background.
Well, my name's Bill Maloney.
Very nice to meet you, Bill.
And they call me the company-speaking Irishman, Father.
Great.
Thank you very much. And
It's a
Father,
pleasure.
people like
Pleasure.
yourself, please stop this child abuse.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
We're doing everything we can.
Thank you very much.
God bless you.
Right, so Lily and I, it's Valentine's Day, and we're shooting a film called The Brass about prostitution. So we're in Brixton. Who do I bump into? Ken Livingstone. Ken Livingstone ordered the levelling of a children's institution called Shirley Oaks, and I just asked him why. What we wanted you to do was to excavate it and check for children that were buried there. And I said, children were buried there. Do you understand that? And well, you heard the man. So I'm fucking livid. You know what I mean? He doesn't know this. He doesn't know that. He said to me, I'm old. I can't remember anything. Why is he on the street representing us if he's not even in command of his full fucking faculties? And here's Bill Maloney speaking for all victims and survivors. And I am very, very fucking angry. But I love you all. You promise me that you will go on to pieandmashfilms.com and then you'll see what I'm doing. Pie and Mash Films. Look, let me just show you that you're not talking to a lunatic, alright? I'm not a lunatic, alright? But I haven't got any cards, but I've got my press pass, alright? My name's Bill Maloney and I own a company called pieandmashfilms.com.
Which you're advertising perfectly on your website.
Yeah.
But if you want me to do something, you have to tell me what you want me to do.
Okay, so you've got me,
Okay.
that's
Just
you,
want yourself.
right? And you're going to talk to me, Ken.
No,
I've done interviews with Peter Tatchell, with... No, you don't know, you're saying you know, you don't know, mate.
I know all that, but listen, what you've got to do, you've got to tell me what you want me to do.
Right.
I mean, I agree with you. Child abuse is horrendous.
Exactly.
It's endemic in all the child
Yeah, but I'm
care
talking about the institutional child abuse, Ken, and the unlawful restraints that are being used. Adam Rickwood was restrained with nose distraction and then the double-seated
I saw all the
embrace.
stuff about Circa, I share all your complaints about it.
Well, why can't you do something about it?
Well, I'm not in any office.
You're not in any office, so what are you doing on the street? Same
I'm
as
trying
me?
to get in the office.
Well, what do you want me to do to help you?
I want you to tell me what you want me to do.
I
Give
want
me the information
I
you've
want
got.
you to attack institutional child abuse. I want you to attack.
I vetoed the appointment of a paedophile to the bar.
And I want you to sort out why children. 99.9% of all children in our institutional cares, our young offenders, are from the lower classes.
I know that.
Yeah, but do you know that Serco's getting £200,000 per year per child?
Serco, I think it's disgraceful what they're
right.
doing. But what you've got to do is tell me what you want me to do.
I've just
But
told
bear
you.
in mind this.
Yeah.
The mayor has no responsibility for childcare. It's a borough and a government.
Well, that's outrageous.
Well, I agree, but that's
outrageous
just the law.
because our children. You're talking to police officers. You know what I mean?
Send me what you want.
I'm giving you my card.
But you remember, Ken, you're here to talk to people on the street. I am a person on the street,
you are.
and down
you're
there
very
you
good.
walked away because
Yeah.
I am asking questions that you don't or can't answer.
I know, and you're doing great promoting yourself and your
No,
family.
I'm promoting.
And I'm here to talk to a lot of people, not just you.
I'm promoting
If you
child
want
abuse
me-
activists.
And if you want me to do
I'm promoting. I do want you to. I don't want you to walk away. Stand and talk to me because I'm not going to get a chance to talk to you again.
No, and
Don't touch me, you're assaulting me. It's a common assault.
Yeah, and you're Yeah, you're very good at this and it'll look great on your website.
Thank you very
If you
much.
want me to do something...
Ken said I'm very good at this and I'm going to look great on the website, people. So that's the...
If you want me to deal with it, you need to send me stuff in writing. I can take it up.
It's always got to be in writing, not the spoken word.
No,
you can't talk to me.
There's no value in a court of law whatsoever.
Do you want to? I don't want to go to the court of law just yet. I just want to talk to you.
No, you send it.
Do you want a cup of coffee?
No, I don't want a cup of coffee.
Why did you level without investigating the excavation of Shirley Oaks? Because we believe there were children buried there.
That's fine, but no one raised it at the time.
Do you believe children were buried in Shirley Oaks?
But I know.
How would you know? You're the one who ordered it to be levelled.
Yes, because we were building housing on it. No one ever came to us with any complaints about it.
So not one person in the government said all the abuse that went on in Shirley Oaks, which includes 7 of my siblings, and my sister is now dead. You did not say that any children were buried in Shirley Oaks, like Hope de la Garant on the island of Jersey.
At the time we were demolishing it, we'd had no allegations of child abuse that I'd heard of.
You had no allegations of child abuse?
In 1974, no.
In 1970, is that when you levelled it?
Yeah.
Right, so I've just come around the corner, you know, I'm still in Brixton, and I was actually brought up in Brixton, Peckham and Lewisham, and Ken Livingstone wasn't brought up in Brixton, Peckham and Lewisham, and neither was the councillor who was working with him just then. She was awfully. These people don't represent us. When you want to talk about something that is a real subject, he's talking to the police. I wanted to talk about young offenders crime. I wanted to talk about the government. They're accusing the kids of drinking too much, yet the government are taking 80% tax out of every single drink they have. And like I said, I am really fucking angry. Now, here's a representation of us. He's supposed to be. He was the mayor of fucking London, for God's sake. He wasn't aware that we wanted people to look for buried children in all these institutions. That's what I'm breaking. That's what Bill Maloney and Chris Whitwer is going to establish very shortly, of all these children that were buried, murdered, buried, whatever they died of, lack of care, lack of medical, and that is what we're all about. And that is all I want to do, and I want to find out where you fucking pricks have buried all my fucking brothers and sisters, speaking in a massive term, not just my siblings and my blood family, but all my brothers and sisters who were killed in institutions and buried in the fucking grounds. And then people like Ken Livingstone come along and then they level the whole fucking area. The whole institution was levelled. No one looked, no one excavated to see where kids were buried. That's what I'm on now. I want to find out where all the kids that were murdered in our institutions since 1950 are in this country, where they're buried. And we're coming to fucking get you. We don't like you, Ken, either. And if you're too old and you can't remember things, fuck off. Okay. Harriet, right, if I can just give you 1 minute. We're talking about child abuse. We'd just like to talk to you about the cuts and how it's going to affect child abuse. Harriet, you don't want to talk about child abuse. I understand it, Harriet, but you're here to talk to people on the street, and we represent... So Harriet Harman doesn't want to talk to us about child abuse today.
She didn't say that.
Okay, at the moment she doesn't. Well, that's what he said to me. I gave her a chance. Mind your own business. Let's go again. Let's go again. Let's go again. Chop chop.
This way.
You've got to get the face. Get the face. Harriet. That's common assault. You'll get arrested for that.
I'm a woman.
I know it's a woman's right. Sorry. Harriet, get on me. Harriet, I need to push you on this. Harriet, why won't you talk to us about child abuse, Harriet? You're part of the government. Don't touch me, because you just touch me. Right, so Harriet, Harriet is not willing to talk about child abuse. And how are the cuts going to affect child abuse? How are the cuts going to affect child abuse, Harriet? Harriet, how are the cuts going to affect child abuse, Harriet?
I'm very sorry, she's talking to people who've come here for
so Harriet's gone to the police officer here, and we do carry a press pass, and Harriet Harman does not today wish to talk to us about child abuse. Okay? Thank you very much. Thank you, officer. Right. That was Harriet Harman. She didn't want to talk to us about child abuse, and I think I know why. In 1978, when she became a solicitor, she urged the ministers to make it legal for people to be allowed to take sexually explicit images of children, and she wanted that to be made legal as long as the children in the images hadn't been harmed or abused. So that's Harriet Harman. Harriet Harman was in favour of making sexually explicit images of children, and she urged ministers to do that. So maybe that's why Harriet Harman didn't want to talk to us about child abuse. It's Bill Maloney, and I represent a film company called Primass Films, and we're interested in what the cuts are going to do against child abuse and young offenders institutions.
Hey, mate, I think it's very important we make...
I'll talk to Ed, not you. You're here to talk to people.
I'm just on the BBC.
Ed, I represent the lower working classes, and I'd like to know what you're going to do, and what your government... Let that girl alone. I want to know what you're going to do to help child abuse. And you've been talking about this before. What are you going to do about child abuse in our young offenders institutes? Bill, yeah, so you don't want to talk about it. Well, talk to me about it. Let go. Let go. What are you going to do about institutional child abuse operating in this country? What are you going to do about institutional paedophile rings that are operating in this country now? What are you going to do about institutional paedophile rings that are operating in this country now? Now! Right, so you just saw I'm trying to get Harriet Harman to talk about child abuse. I'm trying to get Ed Balls to talk about child abuse, because the children are the future of this fucking country, and he doesn't want to talk about it, and she doesn't want to talk about it. Why? Why don't they want to talk about child abuse? Because that's what the cuts are affecting child abuse. Now, as far as Harriet Harman's concerned, you know, Harriet Harman, when she was a barrister, she was trying to get paedophilia, especially like so incest would not be illegal, and children who had you could download or have pornographic images of children as long as the child wasn't being stressed or duressed. Bullshit, 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 bullshit. And Ed Balls, you saw Ed drop his balls there, you know. Oh, good question, good point, good point, good question, good point. Ed Balls couldn't answer the question. None of these people would answer the question. Now they've all got to be taken to book. Now we have to start interrogating these people, not asking them to help us. They should be, the police should be interrogating these people, all of them. And I do believe that there was at one point, out of 600 members of parliament we've got in this country, 100 of those was on the sex offenders registers for children or whatever. The royals are involved, everyone is involved. Paedophilia is like cancer. It's not prejudiced.
I asked you the same question, Kate. As a member of parliament, what are you going to do about paedophile rings that are institutional paedophile rings that are operating in this country now? You haven't answered me, so I'll shout.
You asked me again.
What are you going to do about institutional paedophile rings that are operating in this country now, Kate?
Well, the first thing I will do is, because you have raised this with me now, I will put down a question, which you will see in Parliament probably next week, or certainly when the House comes back, a written question asking the Minister on information as to what the information is, what knowledge do they have, what research is going into.
So you're going to ask that question for us?
Yeah, I'll put that down.
That's great.
I'll put that down in writing, and you will get back some kind of waffle, which you then can look at and say, well, hang on, that's not answering the question. Why don't you ask them?
And then we'll go and shout again.
As far as that clip with Kate Hoey is concerned, you know, I will put it to Parliament. I will write the question. They will come back to you with blah blah blah, and then I say, and we will have to shout again. That's what Kate Hoey. That was her advice. They're going to come back with blah blah blah. So, Kate, you know what's going on. You know who were suspected of being paedophiles. You know a lot, Kate, and I suggest you come along. Oh, and by the way, when Kate was a little bit younger, she used to work in a sex shop. That's another little bit of information for you. Okay, this is a little bit scary actually, this piece that I'm doing now. I'm in Dean Street in Soho, in the middle of London, which is film world really. Now, the shot you first saw over my shoulder, that is called the Groucho Club. Now, the Groucho Club is a national and international media club. Now, we have broadcasting journalists in there, i.e. camera, you know, film. We have national journalists from all the national newspapers that go in here, radio presenters, etc. Now, in the Groucho Club, a couple of years ago, on their website, a paedophilic forum was discovered. Now, this information was given to Pie and Mash Films by a guy, and we can't disclose his name, but he was a member at that club. So there was a paedophilic forum working in one of the most powerful media clubs in this country. As victims, how can we trust the national media? The way we put our work out at Pie and Mash Films is powerful, it's comprehensive, and if it's horrific, we talk horrific. The national media do not do that. The national media trawl the alternative media on the internet. They find out what we're talking about, what is important, and then they take it and they sanitise it because they know it is out. Once we put it out, it is out. Then the national media come in like vultures, plagiarise stories and do what they do. How can we trust them? The Groucho Club, paedophilic forum on their website, and it stinks here, and I'm going. One thing that did come out of my recuperation and myself and other people helping to get me well again, and I think I'm nearly there, is I was sitting in an armchair one day, and I must have been sitting in there staring at the floor for 2 or 3 hours, but within that an idea came to me. A thought came to me, and it was amnesty, amnesty, amnesty for paedophiles, amnesty for paedophiles, amnesty for paedophiles. And I thought, what the fuck's this amnesty for paedophiles? And it kept hitting me, amnesty for paedophiles, amnesty for paedophiles. And then it said that expose the paedophilic rings they're working for, that expose the paedophilic rings they're working for. It will cause mayhem, it will cause mayhem, it will cause mayhem. Then you put it all together. Amnesty for paedophiles that expose the paedophilic rings that they have been working with. It will cause havoc, because they will all be saying who's the first one to come out and going to grass us all up so that they can get amnesty. So, amnesty for paedophiles who expose the rings that they're working for. Let's do that.